You're listening to the Geek Awakens, where the talk is geekier than wearing a Chewbacca mask for the entire show. And here's the host, it's Mitch.
You know, I really wish that I could have even like a minute of joy that woman had.
Oh, right? Video. You know, I've seen so many things happen from that video. For instance, first, I think it was Kohl's, where she bought it.
Mm-hmm.
They came to her house and brought her a bunch of Star Wars toys for her kids, as well as like a $2,500 worth of gift cards, which I was like, okay. And then on top of that, she got to meet freaking J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, I saw that.
That kind of pissed me off. And then the next video I saw was even funnier, I thought, in a way. But it was somebody like full-on dressed in like full-on fur.
Yes. Was that the Facebook one?
Yes. It was on Facebook.
At Facebook.
Full-on Chewbacca. And then they put on the mask of the lady.
It was glorious. I tried to find that video again today, and I couldn't find it.
I ran across it today. It was hilarious. Also joining us is Matt.
Hello.
And last but definitely not least, it's Tabitha.
Hello.
And I'm Pickett. And let's rock and roll.
Yeah.
I just want to mention one thing real quick.
Yeah.
Tabitha and I are both here.
We are.
Ah, crap.
It's an enigma.
They are two different people.
Yes.
Dang it.
Okay.
I was convinced.
That or the shrooms haven't worn off yet.
It's a valid
Mess
thing.
with the space-time
Yeah.
continuum.
Right.
I thought that was like a big no-no to see yourself.
We actually just went over this last week because you wanted to meet yourself in the past, and I told
That's right,
you
we
no, and you were like, "Yeah."
Yeah,
Well, it was a thought.
let's not get back into that.
You know, on The Flash, he interacted with himself in the past. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody follow that show, by the way? Just me?
I got about halfway through the first season, and I want to get caught up, but I just
finished,
my life.
I just
My
finished the seasons of Arrow and Flash, and holy mother of God.
I did finish Supergirl.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean,
Man.
That was so unexcited.
Supergirl has another chance, though.
another chance.
They're moving to the CW, and the CW's already got commercials going for it. They're excited, and I'm
So
really
you're
excited.
telling me there's a chance.
I didn't end the season saying, okay, I'm done with this. I would be open to seeing what CW Supergirl has to offer, but just like the rest of the season for me, it was okay. It was watchable, but I wasn't glued to my, edge of my seat or whatever.
Right.
But
You were whelmed.
exactly. I
love that. I was whelmed.
I was a perfect whelmed. But anyway, lots of stuff to talk about. Lots of people who are not whelmed, and Matt's going to talk about this first. What's going on with Captain America?
Oh, there is so much uproar right now about Captain America in the last 24 hours. It is insane. All because of two words, the last line in the first issue of Steve Rogers' Captain America.
Did Captain America say that he's gay? Oh, wait, no. We're
another-
talking about that later.
That's
Never
a
mind.
hashtag.
So, what did Captain America say?
Hail Hydra.
Moment of silence.
Yeah.
So, okay, here's my thing. And you said you read the issue.
I did read it.
I read it, albeit I had a lot of comics to read last night because there were a couple that I had to read for today. So I read it kind of quickly. I want to go back and reread it again, but I don't quite understand why people are freaking out about it.
I don't. I think the article that I texted you earlier this afternoon really kind of brings it home. And a lot of it has to do with, I think, the fact that the MCU has connected Hydra so strongly with the Nazi party that when that was not necessarily, I mean, they were supposed to be images, like mirrors of each other, but not necessarily the same thing. With the MCU connecting them kind of unintentionally, whether they did or not, people just like, well, Captain America's a Nazi.
So in the MCU, now I understand the MCU. What they did is they said, okay, essentially what Hydra was like the radicals of like the Nazi party. Am I accurate on that? So they're essentially almost like
they're like Nazi plus.
Thank you.
This is
I
not
like
a
that.
meal you ordered at an Indian place. I'd like the Nazi plus.
The Nazi XL, please. Can I get that a combo? No? Okay. Little side of Steve Rogers? I don't know. But here's...
There's a Fear Her Fries joke somewhere in there, but I couldn't find it.
But so what is the where does the origin of Hydra in the comic books?
And that I can't honestly say that I know, because Captain America was not one of the comics that I read as a kid. It's one of the ones I'm getting into now.
Okay.
So all of the backstory is kind of lost on me. I picked up this first issue because I felt like this would be a good jumping off point to really get into Captain America and the story. And he's back being Captain America. He's not old. So that was why I picked it up initially. I didn't realize there was going to be this hubbub about the issue.
I originally wasn't going to pick it up because my pull list is too long anyway. But then I heard everyone freaking out about it, so I was like, okay, I need to see what's going on.
See, and I've had a couple that I've decided I'm not going to keep reading. So I'm like, well, okay, if I'm not going to read these, I want to read some of the iconic characters.
Yeah.
So I've been reading Batman. I wanted to pick up Captain America. I'm reading Spider-Man. Those types of things, just because I want to really immerse myself into those iconic characters. So that's why I picked this one up. Like I said, I didn't know it was coming.
Yeah. Now, and I guess because we haven't really, we said that how the story ended, but basically what they did was say that. And when I read it, and I knew what I was looking for, but when I read it, I didn't quite see how other people were talking. Like, they said that basically that Captain America has been part of Hydra all along, kind of showing flashbacks from his past or whatever, and basically saying that, he's always been a part of Hydra.
Right.
And I guess I see that, but at the same time, and I understand why people are freaking out about it, especially... people who say that, well, Captain America was, created by two Jewish people during World War II, so then for him to basically be a part of Hydra now is...
spitting in their face.
Yeah. My thing is, first off, this is the first issue.
Right.
So, of course, there's going to be some kind of big curveball thrown, something to hook you in. Second off, it's the first issue in an arc, wait a couple issues. If it turns out, if this is the actual status quo, which people at Marvel, they have said that, this isn't, like a brainwashing, this isn't a clone, this is Steve Rogers in his sound mind and body.
They also said this is a story that they've been working on with this particular writer for 2 years now.
Now, this is Nick Spencer. He does also write the other Captain America, Sam Wilson, who, when he had his first issue last summer, was it summer?
Yeah.
Yeah. They had a whole up in arms with the whole serpent, whatever. So he's no stranger to controversy. But
by the way, according to what I read, Hydra was kind of formed as its own organization with the help of Red Skull, who was a Nazi.
Okay.
So that's how they tie together there, but it wasn't like a branch of...
Right.
Of the Nazi party. So that's that.
I think people are jumping a gun on this a little bit.
I think they absolutely are.
I mean, like you said, it's the first issue. You have to have a hook to get people to come back, because so many people buy issue 1 because it's issue 1, just because it's number 1. You want to keep them coming back. 2, there have been so many, changes in characters and everything for so long. People are dead, and then they're not dead, and they're back alive, and then they're, this person, then they're that person. Oh, well, it's back to being this person again. It's comics. There's a continuity. It's all a game. And again, this is issue 1 of a story arc.
Right.
And if there's one thing I've learned coming back into comics, is that whatever they throw at you, the writers have to then justify. There has to be a reason behind it.
Yeah.
And if it's not, companies like Marvel and DC don't throw these kinds of stories out there unless they know the end game.
Right. My thinking is, if this is the new status quo and we're going to see like a, evil Captain America or whatever for a long time, then yeah, that's a stupid idea, and that's not who Captain America is. But at the same time, if this is something short term, let's see what the payoff is. Let's see how the story plays out before we.
I can tell you exactly why they did it and why they're doing it. I mean, it makes perfect sense. The fact that we're talking about it right now.
Oh, absolutely.
It's publicity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last 2 words in the comic are "Hail Hydra," and it was spoken by Captain America.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Don't get me wrong. I'm with you. Completely 100%. And if you ask me, it was genius on their part. I would love to see what they do with it. I'm very interested now. I'm probably going to read the episode. Which is fine, because I've been looking for more comics to get into. But, I like I said, I'm positive that that's why they're doing it. Got to create some controversy.
Yeah.
Get it talked about. Because it's a new thing, right? It's a brand new arc.
Yeah.
Brand new. Yeah. It
Yeah.
started.
Brand new everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, up until this issue, after Secret Wars, Steve Rogers was old. The super serum that he had worn off. It hadn't worked. So now he's back, being young, being Captain America, being full strength, back with the new shield, carrying the mantle again.
Now, did they tie it into the last series at all, or is it just kind of a brand new thing?
They tied it into the last crossover,
Yeah.
which basically is where Steve Rogers as Captain America came from and came back from.
Now, and I did read where the ramifications of this will show up in the other Captain America title as well.
Right.
So,
Okay.
but yeah, so this was kind of a big week for people to hate Captain America, because while some people are turning him into a member of Hydra, other people are trying to get him a boyfriend. Earlier this week, the hashtag Give Captain America a Boyfriend started trending, which is kind of a spinoff maybe of Give Elsa a Girlfriend, who Elsa from Frozen. Nobody's going to chime in with Let It Go?
No, I wasn't going to go there.
Okay.
It's like the worst. Don't shoot me. It's like the worst Disney princess movie in the universe.
Really?
Oh, wow.
God, I hated it.
Why? Because she doesn't need saved by a guy?
Neither did Mulan. Neither
Valid point.
did Pocahontas. Neither did lots of things.
Also don't need no man.
Apparently she needs a woman, though. Why would you say it's the worst?
God, I hated it. They were like, everything's new and original. And I'm like, no, it's not. But okay. I don't know. I didn't like it.
It was no. Look, as far as cartoons go, it's fine. Not my favorite movie in the world.
Least favorite Disney princess. Don't care what anybody says.
Wait. Elsa's not a Disney princess.
She totally is.
She's a total Disney princess.
First of all, she's a queen.
Okay, whatever.
No, that's a thing.
She's Disney royalty then.
Okay,
But that's not the thing. It's Disney princesses. That would be Anna. Anna's a Disney princess.
Well, she's also annoying. The only redeeming quality of her was Kristen Bell's voice.
Right. But what I'm saying is I wouldn't go as far as call Elsa a princess. She's not. She was a princess for like 10 minutes.
Okay, but she was a princess.
But all the other princesses are still princesses.
On a technicality.
I don't know.
Think about it.
I mean,
He might
Nala
be
became
right.
a queen.
Nala did become a queen. They all become queens in the end.
Well, yeah, eventually. So Nala, she's a queen, fine. But not all of the rest of them just married a prince whose
But I
fathers
guess-
are still alive.
We just gotta wait on people to die. Why you gotta rush stuff?
But anyway, that's not the subject at hand.
This is what happens. I apologize. Let's move on.
The subject at hand, it stems from people who are suggesting that Steve Rogers and Bucky are more than bros, and they should, express that in the MCU. Okay, here's my thing. If it wasn't already established, and granted, yes, Steve Rogers, I guess he does come from a time where you had to bottle that up inside, I guess. So, I mean, you could, if they were to go that route.
Stop it, Matt.
If you were to go that route, I mean, I guess you could even explain that away, that.
But
But
it's been pretty obvious.
it's been very obvious.
I mean, look, spoiler alert. First of all, in the first movie, he was very obvious interest in Peggy Carter.
Yeah.
Extremely interested. But then in Civil War, like I said, spoiler alert. He kissed her niece.
Yeah.
And if let's say, because obviously if they want Steve and Bucky to get together, obviously Bucky also has to be into dudes.
Obviously.
But obviously
Bucky, when that scene happened, he was cool with it. He
was actually excited about the kiss.
Yeah.
They all were in the car.
That was funny too. Yeah! I literally just watched this movie. It was like I remember I was the only one watching, but I laughed very loudly out loud. That so would be like my friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Bucky also has a thing for the ladies.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all there is to it.
See, and a lot of people were up in arms because stop trying to turn our characters gay and blah 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 blah. Make up your own superheroes or whatever. In terms of a story, I would be okay with if it made sense to make a character who is traditionally heterosexual to make them homosexual or bisexual or whatever. If it makes sense for the story, let's have a gay Spider-Man, because we don't have that. What?
We already have a gay Spider-Man. It's just Spider-Man.
Oh,
wow.
You guys know how I feel about Spider-Man.
I don't know how you feel about Spider-Man. Go on.
I will tell you later.
But
because we will be here for forever.
I did enjoy the Spider-Man in Civil War.
Now I'm not telling you.
Because you enjoyed that Spider-Man, you don't get to know.
Alrighty then.
But I mean, like, we don't have a frame of reference with the MCU's version of Spider-Man.
Right.
So I would be okay with that. We have a frame of reference with Steve Rogers.
Yes.
We have a frame of reference with Bucky. It doesn't make sense with them.
Right.
Or hell, even like Sam Wilson. We don't know that much of his personal life. If it turns out that
Yeah.
okay, cool. I'm down for that. I am also down for Marvel does have plenty of LGBT characters that haven't been seen in
The MCU.
in the MCU. I'm perfectly okay with bringing them in. Let's do that. Let's be more inclusive. I think part of the reason too. Well, not. I think it is part of the reason. GLAAD does an annual survey or whatever, and last year, out of the 11 films that Walt Disney Studios released, 0 included appearances by LGBT people.
Oh.
So I kind of understand the rationale to say, hey, let's change that, but
not with established characters. You just
Right.
can't do that. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Like I'm with you on Sam Wilson. Yeah, you want to make him gay, fine. It would,
if it makes sense to the story,
as long as
I'm
yes.
okay with that,
As long
because
as it,
I do understand, the MCU is different from the comic book universe, and I think a lot of people don't understand that.
Right. But just don't do things just to do things.
Right.
Just
can't
to
make everybody happy.
appease minority,
Yeah.
smaller groups of people, or
yeah, not everybody's going to be happy with everything. It's just that's all there is to it.
Right.
as obvious by the Hail Hydra comments.
Right.
Prime example.
Right.
Captain America stirring the pot all week long.
I know, right? To kind of segue into our next topic, because when I was doing research, I read this article. It's from the Daily Wire, and I got a couple of paragraphs into it, and I couldn't read it anymore. But then I got
Too long, didn't read.
You're right. But then I did see a couple of sentences that kind of intrigued me. Anyway, this article, it's basically it's this guy who's really upset with the Hollywood liberal elite or whatever for pushing for our next story, which is a push for Gillian Anderson to become the next James Bond. So he wrote, and this is I'm sure this is going to make you very pleased.
I feel my smile coming on already.
All right, so leftists are now calling for Gillian Anderson to be cast as James Bond, which makes zero sense given that Bond's entire MO is that he's an ultra-masculine womanizer. A woman picking up and having promiscuous sex with sophisticated men isn't a spy superhero. That's a normal night in a dive bar.
Oh my gosh. I followed
I'm
that.
literally speechless.
I followed that until
Like, no.
First of all, look.
He's one of those people that's like, you're wearing a skirt. You were asking for it.
Oh, wow.
$10 says if you asked him if he thought that was a contributing factor, he'd be like, I mean, maybe.
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm right.
That's maybe taking it a bit. Well, here's my thing. Look, I agree with not making James Bond a woman because that's not James Bond. It does say it is a trait of James Bond to be a womanizer. Fine. So I agree with that. That being said, I don't agree with anything else that he said.
I am going to say this, and I want to turn it over to Tabitha so that she can kind of talk a little bit more about it. There is, I don't know if it's an official theory or more of a fan theory or whatever, but an explanation of why we've had different people play James Bond and why James Bond looks different over the years is that it's not an actual person, it's a code name or, whatever.
Right.
If that's the case, then yeah, I'm totally down for a female James Bond, whether or not it's Gillian Anderson or somebody else.
The only problem is his code name's 007, and amongst close people, they call him James. Some people call him Bond. I wouldn't say that that's a code name. I'd have a tough.
Okay.
I'd have a tough time following.
Or maybe
that.
not a code name, but maybe. Yeah.
I agree with it being like a title,
right.
like
Well,
James
I mean,
Bond. You are going to be James Bond. I'm
It's,
passing off the whatever.
Casino Royale. He walks into the hotel and he says his name at the front desk. He's like, "Oh, I'm room for James Bond." And I'm drawing a blank on her name. The Bond girl. She looks at him and she goes, "What are you doing? You're just giving it away." And he's like, "Well, he already knows I'm here." So right there, he's using his real name.
Right.
So
No.
I don't know. Just
I'd be open to entertaining any explanation in a future film as to why James Bond is just a code name, like a secret organization attached.
Jason Bourne.
Hey, he's coming back.
He is.
But I don't know. I've got a lot of. Well, let's turn over to Tabitha.
Okay. So the whole thing started when Gillian Anderson responded to a picture on Twitter that was a photo of her looking just super kick-ass in front of the superimposed Bond poster background. Looks amazing. If
It
that
really did.
popped up in a theater, I'd be like, I'm seeing that movie. Just because the way it looks. I'm intrigued. Anyway.
Right.
So my thing is that I don't necessarily want her to be James Bond or Jane Bond. There are a lot of spies in the James Bond universe. Why can't we just have a movie focused on one of them?
Yeah.
He's not the only spy.
The one thing I saw, which was kind of interesting, it almost goes back to the whole give Captain America a boyfriend thing. It's these are established characters with established backgrounds, established, personalities. If you want a character like that, create that character.
Exactly. Don't replace her don't replace James Bond
Right.
with a woman. That's dumb.
I'm not
don't
saying,
think that's what they
and
should
don't get
do.
me wrong. I mean, Gillian Anderson, if she were to play that role, she would be amazing. The other name that was
sure.
tossed out there as a female would be Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh, yeah.
would do an awesome job at that.
Now,
Actually, if I had to pick, I'd probably pick Emily Blunt.
Right.
Her.
Well, I mean, either way, but at the same time,
Why change it? Why mess with something that works?
now my question, and it's kind of a different avenue than where you guys were going, but now I'm not really for sure. But is Gillian Anderson even British?
No.
No. See, for me, that's the more. That's where I kind of draw the line in terms of casting. I don't care if it's a male or female, black or white, because I know Idris Elba has also been thrown out as to be the new 007.
would also be amazing.
But for me, they need to be British.
They can't just put on an accent.
If the British people can talk without one, hashtag
That's true.
Benedict Cumberbatch losing his for Doctor Strange, I have a lot of feelings about that, then she can fake one.
That's true, but
She does, anyways, for
It's
the
true
fall.
for the fall, yeah.
But I don't know. I think for me, and granted, nobody cares what I think because I've not seen a single James Bond movie. I don't count.
What?
Yeah, I know. But for me, that's kind of one of those things where it's like, well, the character is inherently British. It's part of British culture. It needs to stay that way. Same thing. I wouldn't want an American with a British accent being the next Doctor.
So what if we did essentially I don't want to call it a crossover, but we realized that there's been, what do they call the collective of the James Bond? What's it called?
MI6.
Thank you. In America. And they came here, and we had like one.
It's called
Here.
the CIA.
You know what I mean, Matt.
And then doing that movie, it's got The Rock in it.
I'm not talking to any of you people.
No, I see what you're saying. Let's make a James Bond equivalent.
Yeah.
For,
like, she doesn't
for the
have to be
US.
Jane. Like I said, she doesn't have to be Jane Bond. But the idea of, like, a super amazing, like,
But they
that
did-
kind of movie with a
Right.
female lead is a
They
fantastic
did do Spy
idea.
with Jessica. What's her name?
Melissa McCarthy.
Melissa
That
McCarthy.
was not a
Yeah.
real movie.
Yeah, that's
Whoa. I enjoyed the crap out of that film.
That's not.
Yeah, but
I think what
that
you're
is
saying
not
is
the
that's not on
same
the same
caliber.
level as.
Yeah, like that's
No.
That
not.
was a good James Bond joke. Caliber, guns, bombs.
oh,
Okay, I made it into a joke that wasn't there.
it really wasn't.
I mean, I would rather see Tom Hiddleston be James Bond than Gillian
He's-
Anderson, but
He's kind of the current front runner, isn't he?
I think so. Him and then Idris Elba and then Damien. What's his last name? Lewis. I think is his name.
I've also
The
seen
other one with the image.
Cumberbatch. His name thrown out there too.
I
The
don't
world
know.
would just implode of the beauty.
I don't think he would do it just because of now whatever he's got tied into
Yeah.
the MCU.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I don't know. I mean, he's got Doctor Strange and maybe future films, but I mean, I wouldn't say
know.
he's completely wrapped
ended up
up.
in one of those shirts like, Ian McKellen's got, says, I'm Gandalf and Magneto, deal with it. It's like, I'm Doctor Strange and James Bond, deal with it.
By the way, I love Ian McKellen.
That would be effing badass.
Sir Ian McKellen.
Sir Ian McKellen. Sorry.
Wasn't it his birthday yesterday? Didn't I see that?
It's possible.
Happy belated birthday, Ian McKellen.
Sir.
If it was your birthday.
Sir Ian
Sir
McKellen.
Ian McKellen.
See, we're bros, so I don't have to call him sir.
Well, it's a sign of respect.
But we're past that. Like I said, we're bros. So, all right. So moving on, it's kind of the other big comic book news of the week. DC finally released Rebirth. And well, actually, Jeff Johns, who wrote that story, he was so convinced that everyone's going to love it that he said that he would, if you bought the book and didn't like it, you could send it to him and he will personally reimburse you for the cost of the book and the cost to send it to him.
Really?
Yep.
I'm picking up this book. It's official.
But that said, I read it last night. I thought it was really good. Well, you kind of have to spoil it a little bit, and because I mean, are either of you?
I was going to, but go on.
Well, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
It's a flash heavy story. I will say that.
See, now I don't want.
It's
Are
it's
you
a fla-
humming Jingle Bells?
it's a flash heavy story that without giving too much away because Pickett is having a crisis right now and he's trapped in here, so there's nothing else he could do. But it kind of it explains a little bit more about how the DC universe came into the New 52, and it also had a huge plot twist at the end where a group. I think you're done. You're good, Pickett.
Am I good?
You're good.
I'm good.
Yeah. Because I won't give it away, but like a group that is connected to DC, but we haven't seen in the DC universe. It looks like it's going to have a big role to play. What?
I'm doing all I can not to burst out in song right now.
The gift away?
Give it away, give it away, give it away now.
As soon as she said it, I looked at him.
And I thought it, but as soon as they start laughing, I'm like, nope.
So, but But anyway, so Matt, you said that you didn't read it, but you kind of flipped through it. What are your thoughts so far?
I wish I had any concrete thoughts on it. As like I said, I flipped through it. I really didn't even read or skim any of it. But I did see the last page and the twist that supposedly is coming. And needless to say, because I have read that graphic novel, I'm in.
Yeah.
I want to see the connection.
I'm interested to see the connection. I'm also curious as to where we're going to see the connection.
Right.
Is it because like I said, it was such a Flash-centric story. Is it something that we're going to see in the Flash? The twist ending, Batman was a part of it. So are we going to see it in Batman?
Right.
Is it going to be a new miniseries that we're going to see next year? You know, that's what I'm curious about. And is this even going to be something that we're going to find out now, or is it something that they're going to string along?
I guess the only thing that concerns me about the twist, if you will, is as we've been talking with iconic characters, it's like that entire group of characters is very iconic and really hasn't been touched for the most part since its inception.
Yeah. I mean, there was that, I guess, prequel.
Yeah, there was a prequel
or whatever, but even that, I ended up not reading that because that was so daunting.
Right. And that doesn't seem to really play into being cryptic enough.
Yeah.
You are, but I'm just so confused right now. I think Tabitha is also just like, well, all right.
I don't think you know who we're talking about.
I
but
do.
Yeah.
I'm trying kind of not to pay attention. So it's not that I'm going to read it. It's just that sometimes I don't like to be spoiled for things to come.
Right.
So moving on.
Yes.
All right.
You're being very cryptic, by the way, not kind of.
Well, you know, it's been out for just over 24 hours. I mean, if we were talking about it next week, I'd be all over it because you've had your opportunity. But, you know. And kind of going back, I mean, we totally spoiled Captain America earlier. But, I mean, Facebook spoiled Captain America. Hell, I was leaving work yesterday, and the local country music station on the radio was talking about Captain America.
Well, then they've done their job.
Yeah. I'm sure Bill O'Reilly talked about Captain America last night. But anyway, so even more comic book news because that's just about all I brought to the table. Marvel announced that they are doing Marvel Now again. So
now, what is Marvel Now?
It was they did Marvel Now right around the same time that DC did the New 52, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Basically, it was a publishing initiative or whatever. New storylines, new, whatever. But yeah, so they did Marvel Now. They did, last year they did All New, All Different. There was one in between. I don't remember what that one was called.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on that one.
Basically, it's just another ploy to,
get you to buy more.
Exactly. I mean, this doesn't say, but, there may even be like, everything's going to new number one again. Like, no.
We had number ones 3 months ago. Right. Here's a new number one.
But what gets me is that, like, we've had Marvel Now with an exclamation. It's in all caps and with an exclamation point. So that's why I got excited. But like, we've had that already. I mean, call it something different.
Marvel Now again.
But
you're rebooting.
Right.
Marvel Now.
It's gonna kick off in the fall. And it's going to start off with the Marvel Now preview magazine on July 13th. That's when we're going to find out what new series we're getting, like status quo shifts and all this and that. So look for that in July. So speaking of comic books, Tabitha, you had another story about women of color in comic book movies.
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about this until the Civil War got released, and they were talking about Black Panther and how, we don't see a whole lot of people of color in not the comic books, but in the movies. Mm-hmm. And I found an article, like, randomly that was talking about how great, we have Black Panther, but where are our female women of color? There are none. There literally are none in the movies. There are tons in the comics, but they're never shown in the movies.
Now, well...
And it's not for lack of actresses that could play the roles. It's not for lack of characters to develop from.
True.
It's just not being addressed, like, essentially at all. And, like, you guys know how I feel about Kamala Khan from, Miss Marvel. She's a Pakistani-American teenager. She ever going to get a movie? Probably not.
Which, and the article that you shared with us, it had a list of characters that that the writer or the author or whatever would like to see, and two names struck out at me. It was Ms. Marvel, and then there's also in the Young Avengers, which she's part of some other group now, but whatever. There's Miss America, who is America Chavez. I would like to see either one of those, immediately.
I agree. It's super, like, they're leaving so much off the table to to bring movies from, and we keep getting the same people. Over and over and over and over.
Yeah. I mean, and yes, you're absolutely right. There is a awful lack of balance or whatever. I mean, basically, we've got Storm, and do you count Olivia Munn as Psylocke?
I mean, that was something that somebody had, when I read the article I sent to you guys. There was a comment section, and that was something that somebody had brought up. I mean, I think it's debatable between if you feel that,
and well, I guess Jubilee, but even still, that's three characters in one movie,
right?
Where are the
side
others?
Characters that are not by any means main characters. I mean, we still don't have a lead character female role in an Origins movie. Origins. Wow.
Origins.
I like it.
I'm done. We still don't have a female character there. It's probably going to be a white female character before it's a woman of color, probably.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. I didn't even think about it until I realized, I was thinking, I was looking through, I'm like, okay, and then in this movie, nobody, okay. So take the nothing, divide it by nothing, you get nothing. There's nobody.
Right.
And that's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had my feminist pants on this week when I was looking for articles, evidently.
Apparently.
You really did.
It's feeling very Rosie the Riveter on Monday.
Nice. Were you just at random points, just we can do it?
I mean, I do that all the time anyway.
Oh. Just hold that for 5 seconds and then go on with your day.
Yeah.
But you got to do it mid walk through the office. Just.
Well, I have to stop and tie my bandana in my hair first. So.
Touché.
Right.
Make a big spectacle out of it too.
You don't just wear your bandana at work?
No, it makes my hair look weird.
Oh, okay.
That's fair.
Plus, I mean, it's not really dress code. Well,
It's true.
it doesn't say you can't wear one.
It doesn't. I've read our dress code.
Right.
Show up with a bandana tomorrow. I'll let you know how that goes. If I send you an email, I'm still employed. If I send you a text message, I've been fired, and I'm sadly sitting in the parking lot in my bandana.
All right.
But at least you'll have the bandana.
Tell you what, if that happens and you get fired, we'll hang out when I get off work, and I'll buy you your first drink as long as you're wearing your bandana.
I will never take my bandana off.
I'm joining you guys for this drink.
Perfect.
You also have to be in a bandana.
That's fine.
Just a bandana.
That's fine.
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight, folks. Just kidding. We still have time. Damn it.
I mean, I can go put that on now.
Nope.
No, I'm good.
Nope. You're trapped in here. You can't leave.
I could find a way. Actually, I think I've got a bandana back here somewhere.
No. Matt, please tell me about the. Well, I guess it's not casting news, but somebody who wants to be cast in the new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. So Vincent D'Onofrio played Wilson Fisk, Kingpin, in Daredevil Season 1 on Netflix. People kind of took to the internet, as they tend to do, and ask him if he had any talk with Marvel or Sony about reprising his role in the new Spider-Man movie. He admitted that it was news to him, but it is something that he would like to see happen. And after seeing Daredevil and seeing his portrayal of the character, I think it would work well. It would be cool. I don't know if it'll happen. I mean, as far as I know, they've already got Michael Keaton signed into the new Spider-Man movie, presumably as the villain.
Mm-hmm.
So
there has also been talk, though, of when it's something that they do all the time, and it makes me angry, of having a slew of villains.
Yeah, I noticed that actually in regards to the Ben Affleck Batman movie, which is still in production. And he had said something about in the Batman movie how there's just a gauntlet of villains. I'm like, no.
Yeah. Give me one
well-developed.
Yeah, two at the top. Two tops.
Yeah, I don't need popcorn villains just
right.
Villains.
Popping at you from
kind of like
sides
the popcorn superheroes we had in Batman v Superman. That was a lot.
There was a lot going on.
I tried watching that movie this week. It did not go well.
How far did you get?
I don't remember.
You fell asleep.
I fell asleep.
Not good.
Oh.
It was late. It was the first movie I've actually tried to sit down and watch, and that was a mistake, being late.
Nice.
I watched Civil War during the day, but it definitely kept my attention more, for sure. I'll be honest. In the first 30 minutes of that movie, I was like, what is happening?
That first 30 minutes to an hour, in my opinion, dragged.
It was so bad. And that might be as far as I made it.
I would. Oh wait. Oh, you're talking about Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
Oh, for me, Civil War. That first chunk just took forever. I mean, it was stuff that had to be told, and I was fine with it. But I was just like, oh my god.
Yeah. After that
get
initial
to the action.
That initial bang. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a lull.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
I'll agree with that.
But yeah, with same thing with Dawn of Justice. There was.
It didn't really have the bang to begin with, though. It was really just kind of like.
I'm gonna try to watch it again.
Maybe like in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. After like a cup of coffee or something.
Right. Or maybe during coffee.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, kind of going back to Homecoming, which is the new Spider-Man movie.
Right.
Now, we don't know that the Netflix TV side of the MCU is connected to the actual MCU. We don't know that yet, right?
No. Although everybody on the Netflix side of the MCU is like, yeah, we want to be part of it. Make it happen. And then that's pretty much all the talk there is.
Yeah.
Once I would love to see these companies say, hey, that's a great idea. Let's do that.
Because, I mean, Daredevil is a phenomenal character. Like, he's well written. He's well played. He would be an asset to the movies. But for now, he just sits there in his own little show, tucked away in the corner. And I don't quite understand that yet.
And you never will.
No.
And that's just it.
I don't get paid to understand that. So
I would be way more willing to watch a Daredevil movie than I would be another Batman vs Superman movie with Ben Affleck.
Yes, they did a Daredevil movie.
I didn't mind Ben Affleck.
Another an actual Daredevil movie. You liked that movie? The director's cut or the non-director's cut?
The director's
It didn't
cut.
matter.
I mean, it mattered a little bit.
I like the
Colin
director's
Farrell?
cut. Okay, so that was a definite, in the movie.
I'm talking like a Daredevil movie. Bring me some Charlie Cox. Give me a new one.
Right.
I'm leaving that one alone.
I mean, bring me some Charlie Cox. With some mashed potatoes on the side or something. I don't know. Carry on.
Pickett looks like he's about to explode. So we're going to move on.
Not that show. Not that show.
You haven't said that in a while.
He said that last week.
Did he?
I'm pretty sure I did. That show's no longer a thing anymore, so.
Aw.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
Hey.
I'm not upset about it.
So, let's see. Real quick, which we kind of all assumed anyway, or whatever. But going back to Batman versus Superman, it was confirmed that the Robin suit that we saw was Jason Todd's, which okay, when I saw the movie, I was very upset that we never came back to that. We saw it. It wasn't even just like an Easter egg or whatever. Like the camera was focused on it for a couple seconds,
zoomed in,
yeah,
and then went away.
and then we never got back to it, and that made me upset. But
That's what happens when you try and stick too many things in one movie in 2.5 hours.
And that was our concern from day one. When we first started talking about this film, and what I saw was super jumbled together. It was a friggin' hot mess.
And I will say, after seeing it and going back and thinking about it, I probably enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
But that shouldn't be the case.
But it's
movies
still-
have to be an instant gratification kind of a thing.
Yeah.
You can't go home and be like, oh, that wasn't bad. Now that I've thought about it, no. The
Yeah,
whole point of going to
the
see a
movie
movie is so you can zone out. You read a book, that's fine. You read that book and then later on like, wow, I just realized that was a good book.
Yeah.
Not movies. Not movies.
Yeah. Valid.
So, speaking of movies, Tabitha has another story about possible new live-action version of another Disney princess.
I feel myself glowing right now. I'm so excited. So, Elsa is my least favorite Disney queen, princess, person, whatever.
Let it go.
Oh, for the love of God.
God, you were waiting for that one, weren't you?
Been just
Holding on to that
chomping
one.
at the bit. Gosh. Go on, please.
Thank you. We're getting, or hopefully getting, a live-action Little Mermaid movie. Little known fact, I was Little Mermaid 3 years in a row for Halloween. Because when Tabitha was tiny, her hair was bright red.
Was tiny?
Oh.
Was tinier-ish. Anyway, whatever. I'm little.
Did you see the look on her face? I'm sorry.
You're the one in the little chair.
That is true.
Anyway, so we're hopefully getting a live-action Little Mermaid movie. I am super excited. Not that long ago, I read that Universal had made a plan for a live-action Little Mermaid movie, but it looks to be more along the lines of following the original fairy tale, which is a lot more gruesome and a lot more dark than the Disney version. A live-action version of the Disney movie, I will probably be in the theater at least 4 times to watch that. It doesn't matter how bad it is. I have a Little Mermaid problem. Anyway. Disney has had so much success with all their live action movies lately. I feel like they're just going to start churning them out.
Well, that's the game plan,
And I'm
actually.
so excited.
Now I'm the movie guy, so I can talk about this
You
a little
can.
bit. First of all, earlier this week we dropped the first teaser trailer for Beauty and the Beast, which, by the way, was freaking amazing.
Spectacular.
And followed the original trailer to a T. It did. It was awesome.
Really?
That was interesting to see the side
Yeah,
by side.
they did a side-by-side
Yeah, there's
comparison
one online.
of both of the trailers, and yeah, they're perfectly identical. It was awesome. It was
That's awesome.
really, really cool. And the person they have writing the new music is phenomenal. Just phenomenal.
that Beauty and the Beast trailer had 90 million views or something.
Yeah, it hit hard.
It beat Star Wars Force Awakens
It
in
really
24
hit
hours.
Yeah.
hard.
My week has been crazy, so I actually haven't seen it yet.
It's beautiful.
It's all. I would play it for you right now if I didn't think that we were in the middle of a show or something.
Right.
I mean, you have Emma Watson as Belle,
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that.
Dan Stevens as the Beast from Downton Abbey. Nobody Downton Abbey.
Nope.
Anyway, Disney's had so much success with their live action movies that, like I said, I feel like they're just going to start churning them out, and that's totally fine. They had Maleficent, Cinderella, the Jungle Book that just came out.
I guess it's better than doing bad straight-to-video sequels.
This is
So
Yeah.
Like
here's
the Lion
here's
King 3,
here's some of the things they've got on the books.
But Lion King 2 was good.
2.5.
I
don't even know.
There
There's-
was a Lion King 2. You know what? I kind of enjoyed that. Obviously, it wasn't as good as the original, but
I try not to watch those. I watch the first one, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm done.
So here's what we've got: live action coming up this weekend. Alice Through the Looking Glass. Okay. In August, we've got Pete's Dragon, which I'm super stoked about.
I still haven't seen the trailer for that. I need to watch that.
It's really cute.
The next one is Beauty and the Beast, and it looks like, and now they don't. Some of these don't have release dates. They're probably
Pending.
strictly rumored or whatever. But 101 Dalmatians, they're going for another live action of that. And it's called 101 Dalmatians Cruella. So it might be a Cruella focused story.
Emma Stone is rumored to be cast in that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maleficent 2, or just Sleeping Beauty. The Jungle Book 2, Peter Pan, Pinocchio, Dumbo, which I'm not sure how I feel about. That would be a lot of CG, and I don't know that I want to see that.
I can't watch the original Dumbo, so I'm not going to be able to watch live action.
Sword in the Stone, Mulan, Tinkerbell, Winnie the Pooh, which, again, why? Snow White, and one of the ones I'm most excited about. It's called Genies. It's going to be a prequel to Aladdin on the origin of the genie.
How are you going to do that?
I mean,
without
Exactly.
Robin Williams?
I can't hear the genie
No.
without.
See, I like the idea, but yeah.
If we don't have
Well,
Robin
Robin
Williams, I don't
Williams.
want it.
First of all, they've got thousands, and I mean thousands of extremely, extremely talented voice actors. We can get that sound.
Don't matter.
But
It's
I don't
not
want
Robin
somebody
Williams.
to fake it to be Robin Williams, because I'm going to sit there and be like,
Have you guys seen the videos of that kid who looks just like and sounds just like Robin Williams?
don't care, don't want it.
No.
No.
I'm-
I want, like, the new Mary Poppins is coming out. Come on, you wanted Emily Blunt. There you go, Emily Blunt as Mary Poppins. And I don't know how many, I know you have listened to Hamilton. Lin-Manuel Miranda is going to be the equivalent of Bert in Mary Poppins in that one.
Bert, was that Dick Van Dyke?
Yes.
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 Okay, I haven't seen Mary Poppins since I was a kid. Pardon
It's a
me.
scathing look.
That was
I know.
By the way, one last movie, Prince
Playing the
Charming.
Penguins.
Prince Charming. Yep.
Prince Charming will be the last one they've got out there. And it's just a long list. Some of those things are probably not going to happen, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I would not be upset if they didn't get a Winnie the Pooh in it. If they didn't get Dumbo. You know, those are classics. It should probably just stay classic. Winnie the Pooh, we're not even going to talk about. But Dumbo needs to probably just stay the way it is.
And stop making 101 Dalmatians movies try to happen. Like, it's like, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen. Like, the first one was great. The second animated one was okay. All the rest of them, you're like, why is this happening?
Isn't that a Mean Girls reference?
Yeah, it
It
is.
was.
Amazing. I'm so happy right now.
I
love
just
that.
like how you made that fetch joke when we're talking about 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah.
Oh.
Double entendre. You're welcome.
So-
Anyway, Dreamcasting Little Mermaid real quick here, guys. Can I get Isla Fisher as Ariel?
Who?
Really? I'm firing all of you.
Go ahead. What has she done?
Google don't help. Don't fail me.
I'm not
now.
even going to help you. So ashamed.
Okay, so who's your pick to play Flounder?
Well, it's going to have... I don't have a flounder. I have an Ursula. I'm going to need Kathy Bates.
Yeah.
You know I'm right.
Typecasting.
It's Ursula. Of course I'm typecasting.
Oh, yeah.
I want Jeremy Irons as my King Triton, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go. There's your photo.
I can see that.
Who's your King Triton?
Jeremy Irons. I know that's really random, but he's got that, like, I don't know, kingly
I don't know.
attitude.
But
Jeremy Irons with a tail. You want to see that?
I'm just
I don't
saying,
know.
I don't know if he's buff enough to be King.
That's what I'm
Triton.
thinking. I mean, he's kind
King
of
Triton
old.
doesn't need to be, like, you need to read the, like, original fairy tale. Like, he's just a dude. He's just a dude with
He's
a
just
tail.
a dude with a tail.
He's a merdude.
He's a
Merdude.
merman.
Merdude.
I like merdude better, though. That's legit.
Do you think the mermaids from like the West Coast are like, sup, merdude?
What up, merdude?
Merdude.
Merdude.
I would like to go home now.
All right, so here's the thing. We still got a couple other stories. We're skipping some because screw it. Couple other quick stories before we get to our last story. Comixology announced earlier this week that they are launching Comixology Unlimited, which is basically going to be like a Netflix for comics, $5.99 a month for endless access to thousands of digital comics from Image, Dark Horse, IDW, Boom. It goes on and on. Not the big two, which obviously
They have their own.
Do they have their own?
Yes.
Marvel does. I don't know if DC does.
DC's got an app. I don't know.
Well, they have an app, but I don't think
know
they
how
have
much it's-
I don't think they have like the unlimited like Marvel does.
How much does that one cost?
Marvel's is $9.99 a month.
That's not bad.
But it's not up to date.
Really?
It's rough. I mean, it's anywhere between 3 to 6 months behind.
Oh no, I'm out.
Yeah.
I picked it up just to read Civil War before the movie, and yeah, that was it.
So, Comixology Unlimited is available in the U.S. And right now you can sign up for free 30-day trials. So,
There you go.
give it a try.
Time to read Saga.
You haven't read Saga?
No.
I've only read the first volume of Saga.
I've read it, like, all, 5 volumes that are out right now, like, 4 times. It's fantastic.
The first volume is really good. It was really awkward because at the time I was living where I lived. I didn't have laundry facilities, so I had to go to laundromat or whatever. And okay, so
I know where this is going.
mild-
I super know where this is going.
mild spoiler alert. They're like these characters. They're humans with like a television monitor or whatever, like for a head.
Prince Robot.
Yeah. So there's this one scene where these two TV head things are getting it on. And so I flip to that page while I'm in the laundromat, and I'm like, oh, no. Is anybody around? I don't want people thinking that, that I'm into this stuff. It was scary. But
I mean,
that's...
it is not for the faint of heart. It is
No.
not PG rated.
No,
It
not
is
at all.
Apparently, neither is our show.
Extraordinarily inappropriate, but it is fantastic.
It is really
It's
good.
it's beautifully drawn. It's wonderfully written. It's just so good.
So, all right. So Tabitha, you had one other story about, actually, kind of even going back to our earlier conversation about women of color in comic books, movies.
Joss Whedon, the champion of strong female characters everywhere, said he was done with superhero movies after Age of Ultron. However, someone broached the question to him if it were a superhero movie about a female lead character, would you do it? And he was like, meh, I'd be into it, which makes sense because it's Joss Whedon, who creates some of the most amazingly badass female characters in TV shows that I've ever seen. Like, there's not a whole lot of... As a kid, there's not a whole lot of TV shows that you could watch where it had, like, a very strong female protagonist. You would always run into, like, I don't know.
I need help.
Yeah, help me, I'm poor. Help me, I'm, like, little. Help me, I'm
A woman.
pretty, and I need a man to
Right.
rescue me. And then I ran into Buffy, and I was like, thank you, God, Buffy. And then you had essentially every character from Buffy being a woman in her own right at such a young age. And then you had Dollhouse come out, once again, super strong female characters. Obviously Firefly with Kaylee and River and Zoe and Inara, like everyone just being super amazingly strong and not needing to rely on anyone. So Joss Whedon said, he'd be into it, which tells me that they're thinking maybe, obviously, a Black Widow movie.
Which... Well, they're teasing heavily that Black Widow's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
If it does happen, I feel like he should be the one behind it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of people had problems with his direction of Age of Ultron. They, but they put a lot of pressure on him for that. Like,
Yeah.
they really did. Like, during, like, right after that had come out, I don't remember if it was before that had come out or after. Sometime around production, I went to Wizard World or Chicago, and I sat in on a Firefly panel, and they were talking. They had asked Summer Glau some questions about being, a role model, and she was like, I was playing a part that Joss Whedon was writing for me. I was playing a part to show young girls everywhere that you don't have to be perfect. You can be a little screwed up and still be really strong. And she was like, that is something he's very good at. He wrote that part for me, and he's stressed out right now, and like talking about how like he had kind of been affected by the pressure that they put on him for Age of Ultron, which is, why he was like, I'm not doing any more superhero movies.
Right.
And I'm going to agree with like 90% of what she said, but a little messed up. I'm sorry. River was a lot messed up.
Miranda.
Oh.
No, Miranda, the keyword that made her go crazy.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm just messing with your world all over the place tonight.
I only watched Firefly all the way through once. And I mean it was a couple summers ago and within the span of a couple of weeks. So I did not pick up on that.
Mm-hmm. It's her code word.
Did not know that. Did they explicitly say that in the show at any time?
I think they finally explained it like really, really well in Serenity, because in Serenity they go to the planet Miranda where the Reavers were invented.
Even then, I watched the movie too. Even then, I didn't pick up on that.
Mm-hmm. So every time someone where I work, I take a lot of names, and people will call in. They'll tell me their name's Miranda, and I'm like waiting for my brain to trigger and just go nuts. And I'm like, no, not today. Carry on.
Not today.
Not
today.
Not today, brain. Not today.
So, all right. So, if you listen to the show from time to time, you'll notice that we save our really weird stories for the last.
I'm so excited.
So excited. So Matt has this story. Matt, tell us about the new way to lick your pussy.
Can we talk about how the cat just meowed upstairs right after you said that? You broke Matt.
I feel uncomfortable following that. Well, let's just say there's a Kickstarter for it.
Go on.
There's a guy that is working on creating a brush that you put in your mouth to lick your cat. It's called the Licki brush.
Nope. There's now, and granted, I'm seeing the picture of the guy demonstrating it. No,
how many cats do you know that would do that? Though?
Exactly. Granted, I don't know many cats in my life, personally.
This guy's snuggling his cat.
Yeah.
That shit doesn't happen.
Yeah. No, there is no cat that I would know that would be okay with this.
No.
My cats would rip your eyeballs out.
Mine is pretty snuggly, but I get my face down there to kiss his head or something. He's like, what the hell? What are you doing?
Imagine putting something on your face that looks like a giant tongue and then doing that.
Yeah,
that cat would be noping right out.
Yeah, I mean, the quote here, we have designed Licki Brush to bring you and your cat closer. By using Licki with your cat on a regular basis, you'll develop a more intimate and bonded relationship, much like a mama cat bonds with her young.
About that.
So, I had to look. The Kickstarter, 575 backers, $14,766 of a $36,500 goal, and it has 30 days left.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, they're gonna get there.
They are.
They really are.
Yeah, that was my concern too when I first looked that up.
How much is because a lot of times they'll put on there the price on Kickstarter for one of these bad boys. Putting them on the spot.
I say as long as I don't have to actually click, I'll support this project.
No, it should be pretty.
Pledge $15 or more, and you get an early bird Licki. Yeah,
I see.
Oh my!
Where I come from.
Wait! It gets better.
Where I come from, an early bird Licki involves something from an elderly lady, from 4:30 to 5:30.
What?
Like an early bird special.
No. Just no.
Wait, if you pledge $35 or more, you can get a Licki brush for you and for a friend.
Now, see, when you said a Licki brush for you, I thought that what you meant was it's a Licki brush that
your cat.
Yeah, you put on your cat,
And
then
it
the cat
licks
yeah.
Oh, and One licky brush for you, one licky brush for a friend or significant other. Give your cat the joy of a 2-tongue massage.
No! No!
This just gets worse as I go down.
Really?
Whoops.
That's what the cat said.
This one really broke Pickett.
I think he's literally crying.
Definitely crying.
Oh, no.
The crazy cat person pack.
That's not real.
Yes, it is. For
Your friends
120
call you a crazy cat lady behind your back, and you don't even care. Maybe you're not even a lady. Maybe you're a cat daddy like Jason. Wow. But for that, we'll offer you 10 Licki brushes. What fun you will have.
You only have one mouth. Where are you putting the rest of these Licki brushes?
No, it's a licky
I don't
brush
have
for
10 friends.
No, it's a licky brush for each cat. Each cat gets their own licky brush.
Do you write their names on them?
Yeah.
I'm thinking a different word for 10 licky brushes.
But there's also a chance to be part of...
That, granted, I'm in a short chair, but I think that one flew over my head.
Did I miss something? I missed something.
I can't.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to. I completely missed something. What? Me and Mitcher's like, what's going on? Here, take your phone. Anybody at all?
I can't.
Matt.
I'll snort.
Matt.
Oh my god. I just had a really scary thought. What if they're not for cats, but they're for furries?
That was actually my first thought when I saw this article.
And that just takes it over the edge, folks. What if it's not for cats?
And I'm done.
Oh my god.
Now I'm scared.
Apparently you should be.
What do they call that? A fur pile?
Oh.
Is that right?
I'm sure it's pretty darn close.
I just...
It can't be explained. Just don't.
No.
I feel like maybe it's like a gag. And
Well,
you know,
if you gag, you're not doing it right.
Oh god. No.
And that's all for our show today, guys. Since Mitch is clearly too broken to talk right now.
Oh,
It's a good
Lord.
thing Chuck wasn't here.
Oh, God.
Actually, a little sad he wasn't.
You would be. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all the time we have for this extremely bizarre episode of the Geek Awakens. The
You're
Licki
welcome.
Brush. I will not be purchasing one of those. Actually, I might, just to see it and have it on the show.
Well, I think I'm going to get the Crazy Cat Lady pack for Tabitha for her birthday.
Oh.
I only have 2 cats.
But
And I
we're
don't
also
like 10 people.
we're also going to invite eight of our closest furry friends.
Yeah. Your buddy, Puppy Monkey Baby from C2E2.
Yes.
He really needs that.
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. We'll be back next week. Don't forget to check out all the other exciting content right here on 217radio.com. And we... We will see you next week. Everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye.